Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle Cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. And there's Gretchen's last name, sorry. That way, if you'd like to find any of those creators, there's the information to find them. This is Virgo. The nose is a lot of fun today. A lot in here is what I want to do. Got a little bit more here. Okay, we're good. Okay. Whew. Coming into the situation, you're very hopeful, is my first thought. You got balance and trickery, but I feel like you're very hopeful that this is going to go a lot better than it looks like. It's kind of like, if I get in here quick enough, I can set this situation up, and I can do what I need to do. It's almost like you want to work around somebody. I kind of feel like you want to work around somebody, which I don't feel bad about the trickery with that. Kind of like if there's somebody that you don't really like dealing with, or you're just trying to get around them, that could be the trickery. Trying to, like, if I can get right in here, I could probably balance this out. I can do better with this if I just do it my way, and I'll work around this person, and it doesn't have to be an issue. It's one of those things where trickery, it seems to get people see that as a negative thing, but if it's working in this situation, kind of like, I'm just going to work around this person so I don't have a conflict, what's the problem with that, in my opinion? My opinion, of course. You're doing that, and I feel like the trickery here with the balance is like you're making the situation work out. You are getting around somebody. And I feel like there's a lot of confusion. They don't understand how you're doing that. They're trying to figure out how you're doing that. Somehow you're making something work out. You're making something work out. You are. But the quest here in the environment is kind of like, I feel like that's questions. I feel like there's question marks. Like somebody doesn't understand what you're doing. Either they don't understand what you're literally doing, or they don't understand the process or the way you're doing something. To them, it seems out of character for you. But you're doing what you have to do. There is some confusion here. I do feel like the confusion is working to your benefit. I don't feel anything negative with it. I really don't. I feel like you're working around the situation so that you don't have to deal with somebody who's a little bit difficult. I don't think that's bad. I really don't. As things keep coming forward, you're doing well with this method. This method of attack, if you will, working around certain people, not letting them know what you're doing, kind of like playing the trickery card to your advantage. You're getting success with this. Things are getting better. You're getting more of a control connection here, expanding the situation the way you need to. You're happier with it. You're feeling a lot more free, like you have the ability to set things up the way you want. People don't have the ability to control you as much as they want to. This seems to be going to your favor. I don't feel bad about that. I really feel good about that card for you. I really do. I feel like you're using that in a good way, a very good way. The environment, whoever it is that usually would try to, or wants to at least, wants to control you a little bit more, they don't have the ability to. Because you have things working out. If they start getting in your way, or they start trying to create problems, they have to take on some of this role themselves. They have to take on some of this work that they don't want to. Since they don't want to take on some of this work, and that's what I'm feeling from this, that's why they're leaving you alone. They're feeling stuck. They're like, well, if I want to take on that work, wait, I don't want to, so I guess there's nothing I can do. That's pretty much how I'm feeling about it. Like, that's why they feel stuck. Like, the balance they would have to take on, not an option for them. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to take all that. I don't want to take all that on, so I'm just going to leave it over there to the Virgo. Well enough alone. This is creating justice in this situation for you. You're putting in a lot of work. You're putting in a lot of effort. It's what's giving you this freedom. They still don't know what you're doing. They still don't get it. But again, they're not willing to figure it out because they're like, to figure it out, they have to take on some of the responsibility, and they don't want to. justice is in your favor. You get to keep control. You get to keep doing things the way you want to do them. Now, whatever this energy is, it seems to have more faith in you going forward. You get the Ten of Cups here coming in with them. Whoever it is, they seem to like the way you're doing things. You're taking a lot of pressure off of them. And they're starting to realize that it doesn't matter how you're doing it. They don't understand how you're doing it. Maybe usually they're not comfortable with other people taking the reins like this, but it's really serving them. That if they just leave you alone, you're happy and they're happy. And they're seeing the value in that. And they're seeing that that's a really good thing. You also have faith on your side, actually. Like, you're hoping this lasts. And you're wondering, how long is this going to last? Are they just going to let me be? Am I going to be able to do what I want without a problem as long as I keep up these standards? Because you can do that. You're like, I can keep up these standards. I could do this. But how long does this last before somebody tries to take this from me? A moment will come forward. And you know this. You know this will happen. A moment will come forward where this person or situation is going to have to evaluate, is everything really going correctly? And can they afford to keep going like this? Can they afford to let this continue on the way it has been going? There's a lot of secrets here. On both sides. What the other side wants, how you're doing things. It's very much, it feels like a very complex poker game to me. It really does. Because if you give up too much information, you lose your advantage, you lose your happiness in this situation, because that's why you're able to do what you want to do. That's why it's so comfortable, because you have control of it, because they don't know what you're doing. So it's hard to let that go, and you don't really want to let that go. The other side doesn't want to show you their hand either. They don't want to show you like what they want from the situation. They don't also want to put out there that they should be doing more of this. You're doing more work than you should be, but I feel like you're okay with that. You're like, no, as long as we can keep it like this, hey, I'll do it. I don't care. As long as it stays in my favor, I'll put in what I need to put in. As we keep going forward, the energy does get a little more rough. I don't know if it's... Well, let's see how it goes, because I'm feeling it in the environment. It feels heavier. There becomes a spot here where other people are weighing in, other people are pressuring the situation, and whoever's been allowing you to do what you want to do without really pressing the issue seems to get a lot of static about that. Seems to be kind of like, well, shouldn't you be doing that? Shouldn't that be something you should be handling? Shouldn't you know more about how that actually works out? There's a lot of questions coming at this person. They're in question for like the way they're handling things, and if they're handling them well, or if they're handling them in a responsible manner. Because all the responsibility seems to be lopped onto your shoulders. Even though it's working for you, it may not be something you're supposed to have, or you might not need that level of responsibility. Something about that. Like, this person should have a lot more responsibility on them, but you seem to be taking the majority of it. And then there's a lot of questions around that, if that's right or if that's not right. Things seem to be going around in circles. There's still a heavy energy here. I'm questioning why. I understand where we're going towards, but the Four of Swords and the King of Cups in the environment is like somebody else is wondering if this isn't right. Somebody else seems to be holding back, but wondering if you're not getting out of the situation what you should be getting out of the situation. Somebody seems to be feeling that you're putting in a lot of effort and not getting out the reward. You should be getting a better reward than you are. And I feel like on your side, you're kind of like, oh, I got the reward. Don't worry. I'm getting a really good reward. But if you want to give me more, okay. If you want to give me more reward, okay. But you're kind of like, I feel like you're more nervous about somebody upsetting the apple cart. You're like, no, listen. This is working. This person is out of my hair. I'm able to do things the way I want to do them. Things are stable. Things make sense. If somebody else wants to give you more of a reward, I feel like it's kind of like, if you can do that without damaging what I currently have, okay. But otherwise, leave me be, because I'm happy. Somebody's really putting a lot of effort into this, trying to figure out if what you're doing is correct and if it's fair to you. This is somebody going to your advantage. Somebody's trying to understand if this is fair to you or if you're putting in more effort. There's a lot of like going back and forth with this other person again. The High Priestess makes me feel like somebody's trying to balance out in the sense of like, this isn't completely correct, but is it working out correctly? Is the Virgo okay? Is the Virgo happy? Somebody's trying to balance it out. They're not really sure what to do with it. I'm getting wisdom on your side is kind of like you don't want to shake it up. I feel like you don't want to shake it up. You're like, it's working though. Like, but I'm happy the way it is. And I'm like, I would like more of a reward. Like, who's going to say no to a better reward? But at the same time, you're like, if that reward is going to throw this situation out of balance and then I might end up in a place I don't want to be, if that reward pushes me off my spot, if that causes me to lose control of this, then that reward might not be worth it. So you're very cautious. The thing is, I don't think you're going for the extra reward. I think that's what they're getting at here. And I feel like you should be. You should be. Because the workaholic here with the victim is telling me that you're putting in a lot more effort in the end and you need to get more reward out. You're putting in a lot of effort, and the victim card is telling me you're not getting out of this what you should be getting out of this. I feel like you might be very reluctant to take the extra reward, afraid that it's going to screw up the situation and cause you to, like, you know, lose your balance and lose the situation. They're saying, take this. You need the reward. The reward is for you. You should have the reward. If you don't take it, I'm getting like there's going to be people kind of confused and wondering, what are you doing? There's going to be a lot of questions coming at you, like, why aren't you taking this? Why aren't you trying to get this? Why aren't you going for this? Despondence with the Princess of Cups is telling me people do very much appreciate you, but they're very confused and wondering what is going on here. Why aren't you taking advantage of this next opportunity? I feel like you need to take advantage of the next opportunity. There's a reward coming your way. I feel like it's meant for you to have it. Take your reward. If you don't, I just feel like it's going to throw things off balance eventually. So you can't hold on to this moment forever. I know you'd like to, but the reward is meant to move you forward to the next level in a positive way. If you deny the reward, it's not going to secure the situation. Sooner or later, the situation will change. You might as well have your reward. You deserve your reward. Take your reward. All right, I think we're there. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.